I'd like to bring the Peabody Municipal Lighting Commission regular meeting of October 26th to order. Does anyone have any additions? Anything for the agenda?
No, Mr. Chairman.
No? Okay, hearing none. I look for an approval of the agenda.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
Second.
All right, you got that, Patty?
Patty, you got that, Patty?
It's peppermint.
Peppermint Patty. All right, I want to acknowledge the open meeting law and inform the public that the meeting is being recorded by hand and also by video for the Peabody Public Access TV. I'm looking for approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of September 28th.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
All in favor?
Is that
Oh,
the end
okay.
of the open?
Excuse me.
Opportunity, oh no, I'm sorry, I jumped it.
All right, so minutes of the,
It's okay.
all right, seconded. Everyone in favor? All right, minutes of the executive session, September 28th. I'm looking for approval but not released.
So moved.
Second? All right. Now we move on to appointments. Remarks to the general public. Does anyone have anything to say?
I do, sir. I'm sorry I interrupted you earlier.
Okay.
No, that's all right.
I missed my opportunity.
No, that's all right.
For the record.
Okay, good evening. My name is Sudie Smaller. I live in West Peabody at 3 Loman Circle. And I'm requesting more information tonight about the pilot project vote that's on tonight's agenda. I apologize if my remarks are premature, but as you mandate, my sole opportunity to speak is during this time period, which is routinely set to happen before you discuss anything on tonight's agenda. I wasn't able to attend your last meeting and hope you will provide a recap of what occurred September 28th regarding the pilot agreement with the city. I'd prefer to read the minutes of your meeting, but I'm not allowed to see the minutes until you vote on them tonight, and they are posted. The most recent meetings posted on your site are from June 22nd. Can you post a draft of the minutes prior to the meeting, similar to the way the city council does, and then you approve them at the meeting? And then I have 3 questions related to the pilot project. And I don't know how this is supposed to work, if you're going to answer my questions or you're just going, I've never done this part of the meeting like this before. So, is this request from the city usual? I've never heard of you discussing this before. I haven't been at all the meetings, but at most of them. How does this request for a 25% increase compared to last year or the year before that? And is this the only way PMLP pays the city? I don't have a lot of information about how it works, and again, I apologize I wasn't here last week, but I hope you can try to fill us all in. Thank you.
Thank you.
I got it.
All
How
right.
do you
What?
wanna
We're gonna
move forward?
discuss it at the, we'll
Okay.
discuss it when it comes up.
Her questions were basic.
What?
Did you want to field those, Mr. Manager?
I can answer them if you'd like.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
answer
go
the
ahead.
questions, yeah, but because they're easy questions, yeah. I don't see a
It's just a
problem.
recap of last meeting.
She had
Yes,
3
this is
questions.
normal. It happens all around Massachusetts all the time. As far as the last time the mayor has requested, I wasn't here, so I can't answer that, but mayors don't typically ask every year, if that's what you're getting at. It's when things change. And it is a request because by statutory regulations, municipal light plants aren't required to pay taxes, nor are we required to have any pilot, other than it's an optional payment to cities in lieu of taxes out of excess funds. So there's a lot that goes into what excess funds are and can be. So the requests are not, there's no frequency to them. Did I get all of your all your questions answered?
I think except the third about, is this the only way that we pay the city?
Pay the city? We don't pay the city anything, but it's the only formal way that we provide money to them.
So if you didn't pay or have a pilot program, you would pay the taxes?
No, we would not.
You could just do anything and for nothing?
Correct.
How'd you do that, guys?
It's the law.
It's the law.
Look up chapter
Amazing, you know?
164 of Massachusetts General Law.
I know, 164, I know all about it. How old is that, 19?
Over 100 years, I think.
Well, it initiated it over 100 years ago, but it gets updated from time to time.
Well, it sure needs an update, that's my opinion. Anyway, I appreciate you taking the questions.
All right.
I look forward to hearing more about what you're gonna talk about tonight.
All right, correspondence? None? Hearing none, managers report. Status reports?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a few items. First up, we have the 2019 Executive Minutes Review. Earlier this year, we began reviewing executive minutes for redactions and approval, beginning with 2015. We worked our way through 2018 in June of this year. There was no review in September, so we will get back on track tonight in executive session to approve the minutes from, the executive minutes from 2019. The plan will be to handle 2020 in November and both 2021 and 2022 in December. Next item I have is surplus equipment. There is one item we have identified as no longer useful to PMLP and would like to ask the Commission to deem this as surplus. This is vehicle number 95, which has been recently replaced by a new EV Chevy Bolt. 95 is a 2006 Ford Explorer, which needs substantial repairs. The intent is to list this on Gov Deals to see if we can get some money for it, if someone is willing to fix it up and make it useful again. So I would ask if you could deem this as surplus.
All right, we'll take that up right now.
Yes, please, thank you.
All right, do I have a motion to deem, what is it?
I'll take care of
95.
it. I'd like to make a motion to deem vehicle number 95 surplus
Second.
and put it on
I'll second the
Gov
motion.
Deals.
All in favor? Oh, is this a roll call?
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably it is, yes. Roll call?
Commissioner D'Amato.
Yes.
Commissioner Melvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Valletti.
Yes.
Commissioner Elwood.
Yes.
Chairman Parrish.
Yes. All right.
Thank you. Last item for manager's status report is an unrestricted cash. Before I begin, I'd like to beg your pardon for the unusually lengthy explanation, but we have two relatively new commissioners here who don't have the luxury of historic perspective. So in deference to you, Commissioners Melvin and Valletti, I will do my best to provide as much background as I can while staying on point. Recently, we began to notice a concerning but not uncommon trend in our unrestricted cash account. This account is essentially PMLP's checking account, from which we expend funds to cover daily operations and maintenance costs. Beginning with the closing balance for July of '23, we noticed a pointed drop in the end-of-month numbers. This triggered a closer look to see why this could have occurred. After initial investigation, a summary of causes can be linked to two major factors. One, lower than expected kilowatt-hour sales due to a mild winter and a cool summer months through July. Two, worse than expected continuation of inflation and costs for critical infrastructure supplies. For reference, recent annual kilowatt-hour sales hover around 500 million kilowatt-hours per year. In 2023, our sales are down by roughly 19 million kilowatt-hours, which is about 4% less than expected. This equates to roughly $2.5 million not collected that we were expecting to date. In addition, PMLP, like many institutions, expected and planned for a moderate cost of inflation, around 10%. Thus far, we have seen costs for major operational equipment increase an average of close to 300%, which is 30 times the expected increase and is frankly unfathomable. Both of those factors are not at all in PMLP's control. Even though the unrestricted cash account naturally replenishes itself daily via collections of customer payments, the monthly average of this account should be greater than it is currently. Calculated target monthly range is between $5 million and $8 million, which averages is $6.5 million. So if we keep 6.5 kind of in our heads, it'll help as we move forward here. The average monthly balance so far this year has been around $3 million. And since collections are still generally down, this account is not replenishing quickly enough to sustain itself for the long term. As of end of business today, unrestricted cash is at $2.1 million, which amounts to an approximate $4.4 million shortfall. From a high-level view, there are only two intrinsic ways to remedy this. One, earn more. Two, spend less. Neither of these are immediately viable options for us. Earning more would mean a rate increase, which, even if approved tonight, would not become active until December 1st per DPU regulations. Further, collections would be an additional month behind that, bringing us to January before we realize any financial benefit. Perhaps even more importantly, any rate increase at this point would be a knee-jerk reaction without properly studying and calculating the correct amount to increase rates by, and that would be irresponsible. Spending less, the other option, is arguably even more problematic. PMLP has long been lauded by customers as being a highly reliable system with extremely quick service response times. Commissioner Melvin, you experienced this firsthand today.
I did.
How quickly was power restored?
Very quick. I was very impressed.
Thank you. Spending less on critical procurements would hinder our ability to perform the level we aspire to. For these reasons, I have prepared a third option, which is made available by thorough planning and future vision maintained and upheld by the Peabody Municipal Lighting Commission and former managers over the years. I'd like to employ a three-part solution to this issue, a short, mid, and long-term approach. The short-term. The short-term remedy, or phase one, involves borrowing $2 million from our insurance reserve fund. This fund was created several decades ago as a supplementary self-insurance fund. It is supplementary because our primary insurance covers the majority of our liability. It acts as a self-insurance fund, mostly to pay out workers' comp claims, which are few and far between, thankfully. The current balance in this fund is $3.1 million. The average annual disbursement of this fund calls for about $65,000, a very small amount. Borrowing $2 million from this fund will leave it with $1.1 million in it, which, at the current rate of use, is sustainable for 17 years before we'd need to consider replenishing it. With this $2 million from the insurance reserve placed into unrestricted cash, it will bring the unrestricted cash account up to $4.1 million. This will quickly provide some relief as we approach the midterm phase, with the goal of reaching the target of our $6.5 million average. The midterm. Phase two would be enacted piecemeal between November this year and December of 2024. It would involve a gradual use of maturing bonds from our reserve trust account. The gradual transfers would occur 6 separate times over the next 14 months, totaling another $2 million. The Reserve Trust Fund was created in 2015 as an investment account designed to be used in need for unexpected expenses. The current balance is $4.2 million in that account. If we use $2 million from this fund, it would leave $2.2 million. On average, we use about $325,000 per year from this account. At that rate, the $2.2 remaining would last another 7 years before we would need to replenish it. Again, plenty of time there.
And what's this account called? What's this one?
Reserve Trust.
Oh, this is the reserve.
If we add the $2 million from Reserve Trust into unrestricted cash, a new balance of unrestricted cash would be $6 million, which gets us very close to that target $6.5 million. Phase 1 and 2 together will guarantee we safely and steadily increase unrestricted cash to its target balance without causing any disruption to operations. The long-term part. Phase 3 is our long-term solution that will not only help fund unrestricted cash, but initiate the now needed rebuilding of these reserve accounts. This will be accomplished by a cost of service study. A cost of service study is a deep dive into the accounting and economics of providing our service, coupled with the increased costs and market volatility we've continued to experience long after the COVID pandemic and even longer than predicted by market experts. The cost of service study will be given urgent priority, but will take several months to complete. I have already begun initial conversations to schedule this cost of service study to aggregate the findings by Q1, Q1 of 2024. I expect to bring the results back here to the PMLC so that we can deliberate on how to successfully implement the findings of the cost of service study. With that, I ask if there are any outstanding questions or concerns with this detailed approach to our current situation.
If I may, Mr. Chairman? I think that's a very well thought out plan to get us back to where we need to be. So I've been here 12 years, and I think this is the third time that this has happened. That we've had a shortfall like this, that we had to dip into another pocket. And I think that we're so good at what we do that we have these extra reserves that we can dip into. And I think that that's a testament to what we do here. So I'm all for it. I think it was a very well thought out plan.
Tommy?
Amen to that, Bill. I mean, exactly. Nothing less than I expected from the manager this evening. Well thought. Serious research into what needs to be done. I'm impressed by it. I agree with Bill. We're fortunate that we have the wherewithal to weather the storm, and I support the plan 100%. My only question is, do you need our support? I mean, you need our support, but you don't need our
No votes
You don't
enough,
have,
no.
you could do this.
No.
I think you can do this on your own, and filling us in is obviously great, but I don't think we have the right to tell you that you can't do it. And your job is to run the plan the way you see fit, and I'm confident that this is a good plan. And like Bill said, we'll ride it out.
Wish we could hear you,
Okay.
sir.
Oh,
Can't hear a thing.
you can't hear me?
Yeah.
Not all that.
Well, it's like my wife. See, I have poor hearing, so I speak low. What I said was, he doesn't, the manager doesn't need our vote. He's looking for support, which he has from me and Bill. We're fortunate that we put ourselves in a position to weather the storm. We'll weather it, and anything else, better for it.
Thank you.
So, I'm all for it.
I have a question, Chairman.
I agree with Bill.
And when we've done this before, has the other plant managers, have they put in plans like you have in order to fund it, refund it?
Yes.
They have?
Yes,
Okay, so this is very similar to what other people have done, is it?
that's correct. Yep. Yeah, the methods are not always exactly the same, and the accounts used are not always exactly the same, but the general gist is the same, yeah.
Are we going to then look at, for budgeting season, is this going to impact the way that you're gonna look at budgeting for 2024?
Without a doubt.
Okay, so we're not going to have to, we can really plan low for the usage and,
Yeah, if I could say a little more about that, that's only implied. The budget is a bunch of estimates. And the budget, even with this issue right now, the budget's fine. But the problem, to remember, is the budget is predicated on our revenues. So if everything is predicated on a number that didn't come true, then everything else also isn't gonna come true.
no, I know how
So-
budget works, so,
Okay.
but I'm just trying to, think if we can like even lowball what the revenue would be, what the usage is, based on, and I don't know if this is cyclical, if this is unusual, I'm not familiar with, the kilowatt hours and,
Yeah.
what that has been. But if it's starting to trend down, we need to, we need to plan for that.
Of course,
So-
without a doubt. I
Can
can
I
tell
talk
you
about
that.
this for 1 second too?
Yep.
Because so we got a lot of things done this year at the plant, action plans. We got the parking lot done, we got the lobby done, we got the bathroom done, all these things. And I know there are action plans that don't actually need money, but these are big ticket items. And in years past, it's always been, we sit down at the budget meeting and we say, all right, this was supposed to be done last year, how come it's not done? And one of the things that I specifically said to Joe when we were talking about him taking over was, we want things to get done. We want action plans done, we want all these things done. And if the parking lot's supposed to be done this year, we want it done. If the lobby's supposed to be done, if the foyer's, you know, the outside supposed to be done, the curving and all that stuff's supposed to be done, I don't wanna see it come back to us again next year.
Well-
So that's why, but all those things took shape in quarter one, quarter two.
Yeah, and you don't have time to react.
And
I-
it's too
yeah,
late
it's
now
too
to
late.
react.
No, I understand this, so maybe.
So maybe next year we can.
Next year, we put it off till maybe the third quarter, so that we can
Correct.
actually,
You
we
took it right,
we
yes.
have a better sense of where we're gravitating towards for
Right.
revenue.
I just think if we just focus on the budget a little bit, maybe next year, a little more focus, I think will be good.
Yeah, yeah.
One little tidbit of where we started from, for this current year's budget, we took an average of the last 5 years, and we added 1% growth, which I think is very conservative. So even with those very conservative numbers, we fell short. So, I mean, certainly we can undercut it, as much as we want, but over the years, that's been a pretty conservative approach. So
Yeah.
I don't think that, other than, yeah, sure, Monday morning quarterback, you look back, yeah, I picked the wrong number. But I think we picked that number every time last year.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was the right number to pick. And so it just doesn't work out, you can't really control the weather.
Well, plus looking forward at next year, now the parking lot's done, the lobby's done, the bathrooms are done, you know.
So a lot of big capital
we
expenses are
can-
behind
We can really
us.
maybe rein it in next year and try to fill those gaps back up.
Yeah, we can do less next year if you'd like.
Yeah.
The other,
Good.
oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, back to Sudie's point earlier, why do you think the mayor is coming to us? They're tight down there. Who isn't tight in their family budget? Any budget, my unrestricted cash, I wish I had the wherewithal to fix it like you do. You know what I mean? So the city's coming to us, because they're tight, right? It's the whole economy that we're right now, and it's a combination of a lot of things, not just short revenue, it's the cost of goods. You know, who doesn't go food shopping, Market Basket's got all over, it used to be $6.99 for 25 ounces, now it's $6.99 for 15 ounces. Do you know what I mean?
With all the
It all
Transformers.
trickles down.
All the Transformers we had to buy,
Right.
over
It's the
$500,000.
same thing with our goods.
The
It's trying to
other-
weather that storm.
The other thing I'd like to add is that, I know that, you had said, I think this is a great plan, by the way. I think
it's a great
I think this is a great plan. What I'd like to see is, similar to what we did with purchase orders, is that maybe there's no policy about what you can do with the unrestricted cash, and thank you for, telling us and being transparent, is that maybe we put an amount, a limit of what you can do on your own without commissioner's approval.
What is it now? Isn't it, don't we have that?
Do we have?
25 grand or something? It used to be.
There is, for this particular type of transfer, there is no limit, because it's clearly delineated in statutory requirements that it's purely within the manager's discretion. That's what the commission hires the manager to do. I bring it to you guys because I don't want to do something without a discussion. I feel
Right.
like that's what we're here for. But legally, it's within my right to pretty much do whatever I want. I will never do that.
No.
I will always have you guys here to make these decisions with me. But if you want to put an internal control on that, I'm for it. I don't know what to do. I wouldn't know how to approach that.
Well, we
Well,
have,
maybe we're going to be reviewing policies, so maybe this is something that we,
see,
um,
these are purchase orders, and we have it set at 15,000, so anything up to 15,000, he doesn't, we set this a while ago, but
Yeah.
I don't ever remember the manager spending anything on $1,000.
I can't hear you.
I don't ever remember the manager spending anything without telling us about it. It's just that he's very transparent. And he could have come to us tonight and said, here's what I'm doing, here's what I've done, here's what I think is the best plan of action. I hope you support me, because I don't see another way out of this. And I would have been fine with that, but his way is different. He's a little more conciliatory, a little more cooperative. But either way, it's a great plan.
I agree, I think it is a great plan. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yep,
That
I
maybe this
agree.
is something that we can just take a look at and put a number so that we can review it.
So, is everyone answered?
Yeah.
Everyone's all set?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna move on to personnel.
So we'll still get an updated capital report every month like we do?
Yep.
And so that in the next month will reflect these changes
Yeah.
by then, you think?
Probably give it another month
Another
to
month
see
after
it,
that.
yep.
Yeah.
It could be, the month is almost over,
So
so.
that's this, right? It looks like it was.
Yeah, that doesn't come out for 2 months after it's,
Right.
so that's the June one, I think.
Right.
So we get June one in August, we get the July one in September.
There's no way to get one more updated?
It's just not complete.
Yeah,
Because
right.
there's the transitory nature of all the bills and the incoming and the outgoing.
Right.
If you're expecting a large payment and you print something out, it's a snapshot of the current moment in time, it's just
Yeah.
not an accurate representation of the whole month.
Yeah, I would like a snapshot.
You can request a snapshot anytime you want,
Yeah.
and I'll give you the monthlies, but like I said, they fluctuate heavily.
Right.
Okay, we're all set, personnel.
Great job.
Personnel, we have one promotion to announce tonight, an internal promotion. We opened a spot in dispatch, and I'm happy to say that Heather Ann Cochin is moving from the business office as a senior clerk over to become our new dispatcher. That'll start effective next week.
Awesome.
I think next week, is that right, Tim?
Yeah, next Monday is her first day of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whose spot did she take?
So, you want me to address this, Joe?
If you'd like.
Okay, so we have a dispatcher who's on schedule to retire in January. We don't
Oh.
know exactly when, but
Yeah.
with holidays and vacations coming up, we wanted to get someone up there early.
Good idea.
To train them up early. And
I like it.
And helpfully fill
Yeah.
in for overtime shifts that are gonna pop up here and there.
Yeah.
So we kind of have an extra dispatcher for a little
Yeah.
while Heather's up there, but it's a good opportunity for training,
It's
and
gonna
she'll
be-
have plenty of opportunities to work a few shifts on her
I'm
own.
sure it'll be a learning curve for her as well, too.
Yeah, for anybody up there, yep.
Yep. No, it's a great idea.
Should be perfect.
So who's gonna be retiring?
I don't know if I should say.
Oh, you can't.
I don't know if I
Well,
should
there's
say
gonna be a
that.
retirement,
Don't say it.
so she'll be filling in.
All right, next we got committee reports. We only have the policy committee, and I don't think you've met yet, right?
No
So
report.
there's no report yet. All right, award of bids, none?
Nope.
Nope, all right. So then we go to general business.
We have a few items here. First is a commercial customer and contractor handbook.
Yeah.
You received this 62-page document in your packet this month, which will be, we're asking for a vote tonight that this become effective of January 2024. Will Cardella, who's here with us tonight, one of our senior engineers, has put a ton of effort into getting this ready for your review. With I called to references, to a few references, special attention regarding ownership and costs in that, cost allocations. If you have any further questions, we can address them now. Otherwise, I'd like to ask for a vote. Yeah.
Does anyone have
Can I,
questions?
Can I channel my inner Nancy Pelosi, which will be the first and last time I do this? Can I approve this without reading it?
Yes.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
If there is something that needs changing later on, we can always modify it, so if that gives you any comfort.
Does anyone have any questions? I have one
If it
question.
came from you, I'm happy. I'll read it.
I have one question. So when you did this, did you patent it after some other municipals? Did you have other municipal ones that you compared it to?
I took a look at Eversource, National Grid,
Yeah. Oh, and you sort of use them as guidelines?
Yeah, exactly, just to make sure that we weren't missing anything.
All right.
Plagiarism.
Awesome. Thank you. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, so do you need a vote for this?
I'd like one.
Okay. We accept this as the, all right, who's, I need
All right,
a
I'd like to make a
motion.
motion, Mr. Chairman, that we accept the implementation of the new commercial customer contractor handbook to be effective
January.
on January 1st of 2024.
Second?
This will be a roll call, Tim?
Commissioner Devano,
Yes.
Commissioner Melvin,
Yes?
Commissioner Valletti,
Yes.
Commissioner Aylward.
Yes.
Chairman Parrish.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Call you if you
Next.
have questions, Will?
Yes, sir.
I might be calling you.
All right, next we have the City of Peabody pilot payment, or payment in lieu of taxes. On March 31st, 2023, the PMLC received a request by Mayor Betancourt to review the payment in lieu of taxes made to the City of Peabody. Shortly thereafter, we convened at the April 2023 PMLC meeting to discuss this request. It was determined at that time we would look into other municipal light plant pilot payments as reference, as well as our current and expected financial situation as we move into 2024. I brought those findings and 3 potential options to the PMLC at the September meeting last month. As discussed earlier tonight, Public Power is still navigating a volatile market situation with no clear path on what to expect in the next year or two. And although I am confident we will ultimately sail clear of the storm, I believe the best course of action with the pilot payment is to play it safe. Therefore, after previous discussions with this group, I propose the PMLC consider the following. The current pilot payment is $40,000 per month or $480,000 per year. I suggest we set the new pilot payment at a minimum of the existing $480,000 per year. I also suggest we set a new maximum of $50,000 a month or $600,000 a year. PMLP will budget annually for the maximum of $600,000. And beginning in January of 2024, if accepted, monthly payments of $50,000 per month will begin and end through September, which is 9 months. Prior to the October payment, or the beginning of the final quarter of the year, PMLP will review its current financial situation at that time. If fiscally acceptable, we will continue the October, November, and December payments at the $50,000 each, which would equate to $600,000. If we are fiscally strained, then we will adjust the October, November, and December payments accordingly to a minimum of $10,000, which would equate to the original $480,000. If there are questions or concerns, we can discuss them now, or if not, I'd like to ask for a vote.
Does anyone have any questions?
I think this is what we discussed,
sounds
we
fair.
discussed this last meeting, and we all, you all,
Yep, we're just formalizing it.
yeah, I love it, I think it's great, you know.
Any
I think if we're
questions?
doing well, then we should be able to give the city more money.
Yeah.
And if we're not, then then they get what they get.
It gives us flexibility and safety, yep.
I'll move, Mr. Chairman, that we
Yeah,
accept the recommendation of the manager and adjust the pilot program as stated.
yeah. You should be able to get the words right?
Do you want me to read,
No, I don't know, Phil, what do you think?
to be,
You can write it up.
I mean, we don't wanna read all that.
yeah,
We'll write, you can write it up later.
accept the manager's
Yeah.
Except the
recommendation.
All right.
Proposal.
proposal for the new pilot
City
program
pilot.
with a minimum of $480,000 per year, the maximum of $600,000 per year, and prorated based on.
Yeah. Do I have a second?
Second.
This will be a roll call.
Commissioner D'Amato.
Yes.
Commissioner Melvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Valletti.
Yes.
Commissioner Aylward.
Yes.
Chairman Parrish.
Yes. All right, next, the Elmwood check.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner. The last one we
Sending a
received.
letter to the mayor.
I will. Yep. We received a check from the Hydro-Quebec project in the amount of $28,155.36, which will be placed into the rate stabilization fund. And that is all I have.
Perfect. Let me see. Do any commissioners have any remarks?
Nope, other
I
than the
guess
fact
everybody's
that,
all set?
great speedy response today by
All right.
PMLP.
Thanks. So I'd like to have a motion to adjourn from general session and to go into executive session,
So I'll move, Mr. Chairman.
but not return.
Second?
Roll call on that too.
Commissioner D'Amato.
Yes.
Commissioner Melvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Valletti.
Yes.
Commissioner Aylward.
Yes.
Chairman Parrish.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Will.
Yeah.